Hi and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new and you like makeup, beauty, hair or hauls, then please consider subscribing. So for today's video I nipped to Aldi and I picked up some of their new makeup products. I haven't done one of these for a while simply because I haven't been to Aldi in absolutely ages. But yeah, they had some really nice looking stuff in. So I grabbed this, which is a Fenty dupe and it's the Perfect Skin Tin. Also managed to get my shade, which is 2. Also picked up the Bobbi Brown eye base dupe. So this is the Vitabase eye primer. It's not an eye primer, it's an under eye primer. But yeah, also picked up these two Rare Beauty dupes. If you know me, the Rare Beauty blush, or blushes I should say, because I've got quite a few now, is my all-time favourite liquid blush. So I'm so excited to try this out. I got the shade Pink Lace and also the Radiant Rose highlighter as well. I do love a liquid highlighter. So we'll start off with the eye base first. Eye primer. Vitabase eye primer formulated with vitamin B, shea butter and sodium hyaluronate. Hyaluronate. Oh my god, I can't say it. But yeah, it looks like this. So it's really nice packaging. I think this cost me £3.99, so it's a really good price. I know that Primark do these now. I've tried their moisturiser, like the face base, which is okay. A lot of people really rate it, but unfortunately it did actually cause me to break out a bit, so I don't tend to use that anymore for obvious reasons. But I haven't tried their eye primer. But yeah, it looks like this, so it's very similar to the Bobbi Brown packaging. Oh, it smells similar though. It smells a little bit citrusy, not quite as strong, but it does smell really nice. So like that. So it's got that kind of yellowy colour to it. We'll pop a little bit. I've done all the rest of my skincare, but we'll pop a little bit just on my under eyes here. I'll pop a little bit of concealer on afterwards, after it's settled down a bit as well, and we'll see if my concealer works any differently. So I'm taking the tiniest amount and I'm just going to pop this under that eye. I'm just going to, on this eye, we're just going to use my ring finger just to kind of press it in. I'm not rubbing. We're just pressing it into the skin. It soaks in really quite nicely, actually. Do you know, I can already notice a difference before the concealer. So this is obviously the eye I've done. Can you see this one looks really dull, like in here? And I haven't had much sleep lately. I've been struggling with sleep, so my bags are bagging. But yeah, it's quite red, like round here. And this eye, I don't know, it doesn't look as like red underneath anymore, and that's just in that quick time that I've just applied it. And here it doesn't seem as dull now either. What do you think? I mean, I'm still going to put concealer on, but I can notice it. Is it supposed to offer brightening? I've not used the Bobbi Brown one. I'm just looking on the packaging. It says multitasking eye primer that moisturises and preps your under eyes for a hydrated, flawless finish. Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming that means pre-makeup prep. But yeah, I just think it's made a difference already. But we are going to go ahead and pop some concealer on. What I'm going to do first though is do the skin tint. So this is the packaging of the skin tint here. So we've got Lacura Perfect Skin Tint, formulated for a natural, smooth complexion. I have seen people use this on TikTok and it is more full coverage than a normal skin tint would be. I love a skin tint, but yeah, it doesn't look, to me, it looks like a lightweight foundation when I've seen it on other people. Yeah, as I say, I got the shade 2, which is what I normally get from Aldi. I was going to say Primark then. We've got like a little squeezy tube here. And then if I pop a little bit, just to start off with, so it's like that. I have got some tan on at the moment. Yeah, see, look, it's quite thick. To me, that isn't skin tint texture. I mean, it looks nice, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it doesn't really look skin tint texture. It's got quite a nice pink undertone to it though, which yeah, for me is really good, but I might have to bronze myself up a bit because as I say, I have got tan on my neck. So we are going to take about, I'm going to start off with that much. I might need a little bit more because as I say, it's quite thick. I'm going to start off by going on to, actually no, we'll start off with this cheek. So I'm going to use a brush I know a lot of people when I do this, they're like, oh, use your hands. But yeah, personally, I just don't like it being on my hands. Yeah, it's way too light at the minute. It does look nice though on the skin. It does look nice. It's very matte, which I wouldn't normally go for. But at the moment, my skin's all right. It's not too dry. I've been like really trying to combat the dryness. So yeah, it does actually look quite nice on my skin. What I will say with this is it dries down really quick. You have to work really quite quick with it. You don't get a lot of like, you know, play time to blend it in. Do you know what? I really like that. I think it's really nice. I never ever in my wildest dreams thought I would say I like a matte base product, but I do. I think it's really nice. I think what impresses me the most is that this part here is my dry part and there's no clinging anywhere around there. It's a nice finish. I also think that, you know, when I put my setting spray on at the end, because it's quite a kind of a dewy setting spray, it'll bring a little bit of life back into it. But obviously, if you do like a matte product, then yeah, this is great. Right, so let's see if that eye cream, this is my It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I'm taking the tiniest amount and then a concealer brush. I'm just gonna, as I always would, just work it into the brush. Okay, so that's with the product. Oh, it has, you know, it has made a difference. So side with, side without. I mean, I always apply eye cream anyway because, you know, putting concealer on unhydrated eyes is a nightmare. But yeah, this one in particular has really made a difference. This side, can you see, it just seems to have, it sits nicer than it does on this side. You can see all my texture here. Can you see that? How close can I get? So you can see all the texture around there. And yeah, it kind of, I don't know, it just looks, it doesn't look as good. Whereas on this side, my texture's still there, you know, it's skin, but it's not as enhanced as it is on this side. And it looks more even as well. Can you see very lightly that has settled in to my creases more as well. Whereas on this side, it hasn't settled in half as much. Oh, that's really good. Really good. Oh, I wish I'd have bought more now. I bet when I go back, they won't have any left. But yeah, no, that's really nice. Right, I'll just warm myself up with a bit of bronzer and then we'll move on to the blush and highlighter. Right, so we're all warmed up now and we're gonna go on with a blush. I'm so excited to try these, I really am. These were £3.50. If these work just as good, you know, that's a real bargain. So I got the shade Pink Lace in the blush. So it looks like this. And then this is the actual product packaging itself. We do you know what? I've got it right here. I've got the Rare Beauty one here. So we'll do a little mini comparison. So yeah, it does have the same kind of like that frosted sort of glass look. And then we open it up. Similar doe foot, so it's one of the ones with like the little kind of pockets on the inside here. Right, let's give it a little swatch. So I'm going to pop it here. I can already tell that the texture is quite different to the Rare Beauty one. This is more like a kind of a lip gloss texture almost. However, it does seem to blend out quite nicely. It doesn't really show up on camera, but in person, that's a lot brighter of a pink than it is on there. So Rare Beauty, as you probably know, is extremely pigmented. So I'll just pop it next to it. Yes, even that's not showing up much on camera, but on my arm it is. So yeah, but they are, I would say they are quite similar in shade. Let me just put them together without blending them so you can see. So Rare Beauty, this is in the shade Happy, by the way, which is one of their most popular ones. And then I'll pop the Lacura one next to it. So you can see they are extremely similar in shade, but the texture, I mean, you can see there how much glossier, stop focusing on my face, how much glossier the Lacura one is in texture to the Rare Beauty one. So I am going to go on with the same amount, which the Rare Beauty one takes 1 dot and that's all I need. So we're going to do the same with this one. Oh, that's not enough though, I can tell. We'll do a little bit more. Right, and I'm going to go on with a flat kabuki brush and we will blend. Oh, do you know what? It's blending really nice. Really nice. It does blend really nice. I feel like I need a bit more. I do like quite a blushy look. I'm just going to go on with 1 more dot and just blend that in as well. I'll use this one a little bit higher up though. I'm really impressed with how it blends though. It does blend really nice. I didn't think it would, to be honest, because it is that kind of glossy, almost lip gloss texture. I wonder what it'd be like on the lips. Might try that. Yeah, it kind of, I expected it not. I expected it to kind of stick, especially on top of a matte foundation. That's a bit too much now. That's a bit better. I dulled it down a bit with a sponge. So yeah, that's how we're looking. I think it's nice. It's definitely, I wouldn't rush out and say, yeah, I'll replace my Rare Beauty one with this straight away, because I wouldn't. I definitely do prefer the Rare Beauty one over this. But as a cheaper option, you know, it works. It is a really nice product. So for £3.50, it is an absolute bargain. I am going to try it on my lips though. We'll just do the highlighter first. So for highlighter, we have this one here, which is the Radiant Rose, which is the shade, liquid luminizer and highlighter. I love a liquid highlighter, I really do. My favourite one isn't the Rare Beauty one. I do like that one as well. But their powder highlighter is the one for me. But I do love the Mina highlighter, liquid highlighter. I'm just trying to find it, but it's buried in my drawer. So I'm going to do a teeny tiny bit just here and see how we get on. I'm going to use my sponge because that's how I like to do liquid highlighters. I'm just going to kind of spread it first and then roll. Right, this one dries down very quickly. It's not moved, it's kind of clung. Let's try another way that I do with highlighters. They're a bit more like this, which is do that and then I get my sponge and kind of go into it and then go on like this. That's worked better, but you can still see that bit I put on. Got a bit of fluff there, put on at the beginning, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, using the second way that I did it, it's definitely a lot better. I personally wouldn't, especially with a matte foundation underneath, I wouldn't put this directly onto your face and then try and blend it out, because quite clearly it dries down almost instantly and it doesn't give you any playtime with it. But doing it with the sponge, you know, on the sponge and then onto the face, I suppose a brush would do the same. Works a lot better. Yeah, it's just really annoying that I can see that little splodge in the middle there showing through. But this bit here is all from the sponge and that's worked really nicely. Yeah, look, just before I put my setting spray on, this is the side that I did afterwards. So I did it straight with the second method, which was, you know, onto the sponge and then onto the face. Look how much better that looks. And then that's obviously the side that I did first. That's really nice, really pretty. So I said I was going to try this on my lips, so we'll just do that now. But I'll also show you this. I've just put my setting spray on, the same one that I use most of the time, to be honest, which is the Revolution Super Fix. And yeah, it does look, you know, it's kind of brought a little bit of life back into it. It's not quite as matte, which for me is great, because I do prefer a little bit of dewiness, which is weird because this is actually, yeah, ultra matte finish. And when I first got it, I was like, oh, I don't know about that, but it doesn't look matte on me. It looks quite dewy. I don't know, but yeah, I like it anyway. Right, so let's try this on my lips. Right, I'm just gonna line my lips. Oh, that needs a sharpen. That's blunt. I'm just gonna line my lips first. I'm gonna use this one. It's from Bourjois. And it's in the shade Nude Wave, which I've covered there, but it's Nude Wave. Okay, and then we'll go on with this as a lip gloss. I might just go kind of straight on. That's really nice. That is a really nice combo. Yeah, doesn't that make like a really nice pink lip combo? And it's kind of like the finish you get from it as well. It's like a satin finish. So it's not glossy, it's not matte, it's like in between. It's really pretty. I really like that as a lip colour. So here is the finished look, and overall I think these products are really nice. It's a very natural look I've gone for today. Obviously all base products really. Well, they are all base products, aren't they? But yeah, I would have to say my favourite was probably the eye cream, eye base, eye primer. But this one here, I think this is incredible. I can really, really tell the difference between those two sides. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but in person, it makes a huge difference. I'm really impressed with it. And I will definitely, if they still have them, stock up on these because I think they're amazing. But yeah, the foundation, or sorry, skin tint foundation is actually really quite lovely. It's really nice, and I actually prefer it with the setting spray over the top. But the colour, despite it being a little bit too light for me at the moment, just because I have tan on, I think when I'm in my au naturel stage that it will actually be quite a good match. In fact, I know it will because I always tend to go for two. But yeah, it's really nice. Really nice. Definitely more of a light to medium coverage foundation than a skin tint though. The blusher and the highlighter. The blush I like, but I think I'm just being a bit overcritical because the Rare Beauty one is my favourite. So I am going to be like pretty critical with it. But yeah, it's nowhere near as good as that, but it is definitely a really good, cheaper option. The highlighter is actually really nice, like really nice. Take note of that side more than that side because that's the one that, you know, was a bit meh. But this side looks absolutely beautiful. I love how it catches the light. I really do. Zero cast. I really like it. In fact, there were two colours of this. There was this one that's more of a pinky tone, and then there was a kind of more champagne one. I tend to go more for pinky highlighters these days, but I think the champagne one would have been really nice as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean the absolute world to me. If you did enjoy watching this video and would like to see more content from me in the future and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye!